The moment the lunch tray hit the floor, silence spread across the room like a held breath. Food scattered. Heads turned. And the little girl stood frozen, her hands empty, her stomach aching. Her eyes already knowing what no child should ever have to accept. She did not cry. She had learned not to. Every day she walked home with the same slow steps. Every day her body felt lighter, weaker. Every day she told the same small lie when her father asked if she had eaten. And every day he believed her. Until the day he did not. Her name was Amara. She was 8 years old, small for her age, with braids that her father redid every Sunday night, careful and patient like it mattered. To him it did. Everything about her mattered. Her laugh, her quiet focus when she read, the way she hugged him like she was afraid he might disappear. Her father, Marcus, had seen fear before. Real fear. He had carried it on his back through dust and heat, through nights that never truly ended. He had learned how to watch without being seen, how to listen without reacting, how to stay calm when something was deeply wrong. That skill came back to him the night he noticed Amara. Skipping dinner, she said she wasn't hungry, said school had been busy, said she had eaten already. Her voice was soft, practiced. Too practiced. Marcus watched her hands shake as she held her cup of water. He watched her eyes avoid his. He smelled the soap in her hair and something else beneath it. Hunger. He waited. He did not press her. Silence had taught him more than shouting ever could. By the end of the week, her jeans hung loose. Her smile faded faster, and one night, as she slept, Marcus sat at the kitchen table, hands clasped, staring at nothing. He had promised himself years ago that no harm would reach his child while he still breathed. Marcus had once worn a uniform. He had stood between danger and people who would never know his name. He had learned discipline, patience, and how systems could fail the very people they were meant to protect. He had come home with scars you could not see, memories that returned in the quiet hours before dawn. He had buried friends. He had followed orders that haunted him. And when he became a father, he swore that whatever else the world took from him, it would not take his ability to protect his child. So he bought a small camera. He did not tell Amara. He did not want her afraid. He clipped it inside her backpack, hidden behind a seam pointing outward. He kissed her forehead the next morning and told her he loved her. She smiled, weak but real, and walked toward the bus. The day moved slowly. Every hour felt stretched thin. Marcus sat in his living room, surrounded by quiet, waiting for the evening. When Amara came home, she looked the same, tired, hungry, trying to be brave. That night, after she slept, Marcus plugged in the camera. What he saw stole the air from his lungs. The cafeteria was loud, full of movement and noise, but the camera found one thing clearly. Amara standing in line, holding her tray, waiting. A hand reached out. Not kind, not gentle. The tray was taken. Her food removed, given to another child. A voice spoke, sharp and dismissive. Rules, payment issues, no exceptions. Amara stood still. Her shoulders sank. She nodded like she understood, like this was fair, like she deserved it. Marcus watched as she stepped aside, watched her sit at an empty table while others ate, watched her hands fold in her lap, watched her look down, not wanting anyone to see her face. This happened again and again. Different days. Same result. No one helped her. Some looked away. Some pretended not to notice. One adult laughed softly, like it was nothing. Like a child being hungry was just part of the day. Marcus did not break the screen. He did not shout. He did not cry. He breathed. He had learned long ago that anger, when wasted, solved nothing. What mattered was timing. What mattered was truth. What mattered was making sure the right people could not look away. The next morning, Marcus walked Amara to the bus. He knelt and fixed one of her braids. He told her she was strong. He told her she was loved. He told her that sometimes grown-ups make mistakes, and sometimes they need help remembering what is right. She nodded, trusting him completely. Marcus took the day off work. He made copies of the footage. He organized dates and times. He wrote notes, calm and clear. He did not add anger to the words. He let the truth speak. At the school, the cafeteria looked the same as it always had. Bright posters, long tables, asterisk smells of food and cleaner mixed together. Marcus stood quietly near the entrance, unseen, watching. He watched the same thing happen again. This time he stepped forward. He did not raise his voice. He did not accuse. He simply asked a question. Why is my child being denied food? The answer came quickly. Policy, accounts, procedures. Marcus listened. Then he handed over a small drive. Faces changed as the footage played. Color drained. Eyes dropped. One line stayed with everyone who heard it. No child should ever have to learn how to be hungry in silence. The room felt smaller after that. The school tried to explain. Apologies came, hurried and thin. Promises followed. But Marcus did not stop there. He knew better. He had seen systems apologize before, only to repeat the same harm. He had contacted local leaders, community groups, parents. He shared the footage not with rage, but with care. With context, with respect, and people responded. Parents stood together. Teachers who had stayed silent spoke up. A local food program stepped forward. Policies were reviewed. Changes were made, not quietly, but clearly. The cafeteria changed. No child stood alone anymore. On the first day of the new system, Mara walked in and was handed a tray full of food. No hesitation. No questions. Just kindness. She looked around, unsure. Then she smiled. A real smile. One that reached her eyes. Marcus watched from a distance. Unseen again, but this time for a better reason. Asterisk. Later that night, as Amara ate dinner with a full appetite, she told her father that school had been different. Better, she said, maybe. Someone had noticed. Marcus nodded. Another line stayed with him, one he would never forget. Silence is only powerful when someone is listening. The story spread. Not because Marcus wanted attention, but because people needed reminding. That dignity matters. That hunger is not a lesson. That children are not problems to manage. At a school meeting weeks later, the room was full. Parents stood. Teachers stood. Even students stood, quietly, respectfully. The principal apologized publicly. Not just to Marcus, but to Amara. To every child who had ever felt invisible. The room held its breath as Amara stood next to her father. She was small, but she stood tall. Marcus placed a hand on her shoulder. No words were needed. In the end, justice did not come with shouting. It came with truth, with patience. With a father who refused to look away, Amara never came home hungry again. And Marcus, once trained to protect strangers in faraway places, had done what mattered most. He protected his child. Some battles are loud. Some are quiet. But the ones fought in silence, for those who cannot fight at all, are the ones that change everything. If this story moved you, take a moment to share where you're watching from Asterisk. Let us know what you felt. And subscribe for more stories that honor quiet courage, its unseen strength, and the power of standing up without ever raising your voice.